Combining your witchy and mundane planning. It's a topic I've brought up, it's something I threatened to do a video on, and it's something I've been called out on because I haven't done that video yet. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. So stay tuned if you want to see how I currently am doing my planning for the week. Alright, hello again everyone, Witch Hazel again. It's been a little bit since I did any sort of a planning video, and part of that is because my planning system has changed and evolved and probably will continue to do so. I am away from home at the moment, which significantly changed my structure and my schedule and is impacting my planning. So that's one item. But I'm just going to go through what I do each week and give you an idea of that process. And then I'll come back at the end and give a few end notes on thoughts, theories, ideas on my planning. Okay, so this is what I'm currently using for my planning. This cover is a Chic Sparrow Mr. Darcy in Titanic. It is a B6 slim size. I have swapped over to this size just because it fits really nicely into my purse, so I can take this with me wherever I go. Alright, I think I pointed out everything that's inside of here in a previous video, but I have my planner, which is a Jibun Techo B6 Slim. I have my morning pages journal, and then I have kind of the bullet journal segment where I keep my to-dos and things like that. The pen I currently have in here, for any of you interested, is a TWSBI Eco. That was my newest pen. It was an Easter gift. So, alright, so what do I do for my planning? Well, first off, you remember that what I intend to do, what I like to do at the end of each week, is review my week. And I did that today, but I was significantly backlogged on my reviewing. So I went through and I just underlined things that stood out to me as important, things that are coming up a lot, things like I'm stressed out a lot, different things I want to accomplish but I feel like I haven't, that sort of thing. And then take note of those things so that I can add them into my planner. Now, one thing that I have changed in my planning is actually what I use. So I don't start out with pen. I have started using, and I was not prepared, I don't have it here, pencil. My favorite pencil, Staedtler's. And here's the reason for that. My schedule has significantly changed. At the moment, I am in California with family, and that means that I'm not just worried about my schedule. I've got a bunch of other people around me who would like me to do things for them or with them that I have to factor in. I have noticed one of the things in my notes here is that I'm not very good at saying no when these things crop up. So that has an impact on my schedule. For example, here, and I'm going to talk about these stickers and all. You'll see I go back and forth. Some weeks are really done up, some are not. This was last week. I have work here, here, and here, which is not my actual everyday work. I got my substitute teaching license for California because my sister is a teacher and knew she was going to be taking 3 weeks off in November, and she wanted me to be her sub, so I did that. I have not really been actively pursuing subbing as something to do, but I mean, it brings in a little bit extra money, so I do it. But technically then these things are not part of my actual what I want to do in life schedule, and therefore throws it off. There are also days like Wednesdays, usually Mondays, but I'm not here, potentially other days during the week that one of my nieces is here for babysitting, which is all fine and good. Love hanging with the niece, but again, it's a little bit hard when you've got a 1.5-year-old running around to stick to a schedule that is not hers. I can get some things done between 5 and 7 before she wakes up, and then I get a couple things done usually during her nap time if she naps. So what I'm getting at with this is my schedule is not set in stone, and because I am the flexible one in the family, I tend to get flexed quite a bit. And this is a lot to do with me not knowing how to say no to things, so that's something I have to work on. But again, you know, it's family, what you gonna do? So whereas I used to just be able to put in ink what I'm doing for the week, I've found that that is not the best strategy anymore because of all of this schedule change stuff that happens lots of times last minute. So let's look at next week. What I've done is, there are a couple of places where I did use ink, and these are the set in stone appointments that I have. So I have an appointment with the Austrian consulate on Tuesday that's been in the works for weeks, since April. So that is in there. And then also, here is another family item. My parents share a car, so I am available on this day. My dad has a dentist appointment, so I'm going to take him there. Everything else is up for debate. So Mondays, I usually go to help my sister in her classroom, and I can probably get away during my normal work hours of 8 to 12, my self-prescribed work hours, 8 to 12, because my sister starts at 8. We usually get there very early because we have to leave here at 5:30 in the morning. So I help her run copies and do things like that between 7 and 8. My plan right now is to duck out and work between 8 and noon, and then I have lunch with my sister, and then I have to go pick up my niece, then pick up my sister, then we come back here. All of that happens between 2 and 5 or 6. By the time we get back here, we'll have dinner, and then it's going on. I might have a couple of hours here that I can do something before bedtime, but I don't know. Okay, Tuesday is up in the air because of this appointment. I don't know how long it's going to take, so I don't have anything huge planned for that day. Wednesday, again, is the baby day. The baby here. I don't know if you can see any of this written in pencil, but baby day. I may or may not be here in the morning. Again, since I need to work on claiming my own work time on the days that I am on my own, I may try to just duck out when my sister leaves in the morning and have the morning time for my own work. And then I can hang with the baby in the afternoon, usually here around 3 o'clock. I will drive the baby down toward my sister. We meet halfway, so nobody has a huge drive. Down at the bottom here, I put some things that I would like to get done. So for example, Thursday, I set up newsletters to go out on Friday for my writing and publishing business. So I have that on Thursday. That has to get done. Then on Wednesday, I have, for example, blog post. I like to do a blog post for one of the author sites so that I could add that post into the newsletter. I also have potentially post a video to this channel. I would like to do that. And that means that Monday, Tuesday, if possible, I should prepare that video. So I have that in pencil there. And then again, Thursday, I have one appointment I have to work around, so I have my preferred work hours. I have that in here in pencil. Same thing for Friday. And I usually work on Saturdays. But sometimes I do something with my nieces, sometimes I have other plans. A lot of stuff happens on Saturdays. So Saturday, Sunday, I don't have anything written in yet. Sunday is usually my stay-at-home day, and that's when I wash my hair, do the laundry, get things prepared for next week, that sort of thing. So I kind of have Sunday blocked off for that. I do my best not to work on Sunday. Now you'll notice a sticker up here. I put that in there because I have a book launch on the 18th. So what this means for me is I need to make sure that everything that needs to happen to make this happen gets done here. Most of that is already in place, but I am going to have to add in a couple of to-dos somewhere between Monday and Wednesday in order for this to go off as planned. So that's my basic planning. And most of this will remain in pencil until the week starts and I start filling in what I'm actually doing. So as you can see here, this is this week. We're on Saturday now, and I have a whole bunch of time monitoring and to-do items here on Saturday that I'm just keeping track of, that I will go back and put into pen later. But what I've done, and I wanted to point this out because you'll see I have stickers here, and I tried this a while back here. I also have stickers for a couple of weeks. I like the stickers, they're fun, they're happy, but I find them very distracting, and it's kind of an expensive habit to do all this pretty planning things. So I don't know, but I do like having them. So what I've started to do is, because they distract me from my actual functional planning, I don't add them in until the day is over. So notice we're on Saturday now, I have no stickers. Sunday, no stickers. Because I will go through first and put in any appointments that I have. In this case, on this day, I wrote things in as I went through that day so I could keep track of, for example, I did some writing here. And if I did anything else, like I had an appointment, a belated birthday dinner with my mom. But I will write them in as I go. Here was the baby's nap, a couple hours late, just so I can see where my time is going. And here I wrote down the hours that I did work during the day. I didn't specify what kind of work I did. I usually like to do that, but I was in a rush. So I put down when I worked. And then here I had another subbing day and some additional work that came up. This was not planned. This came up later. So then it went into ink once I did that. So at the end of the day, or the next day, if I want to make this pretty, I pick out a sticker or two and I stick them in there. It makes me happy. So this is kind of my version of pretty planning. Alright, so that's how I do the functional part of it, my actual everyday schedule. Now, a lot of you are wondering how to add in witchy stuff. Well, I know here, next week, Tuesday, according to my calendar, is a new moon. So I put a little note here, new moon work. And I'll have to think about it. I have some ideas what I want to do. I can put some notes in here what I want to do. And additionally, I can put notes either at the bottom, at the top, wherever have you, on other things that I want to do on a daily basis to be more witchy. I won't go too much in depth with that for this video because I have another one planned for simple things that you can do to add in magic in your everyday routine. So I'm going to go into more detail with that one. But as an example, Monday, I could wear my moonstone jewelry and, you know, be reminded of what moonstone means to me, what the powers of that stone are, etc. Tuesday, again, we have moon work. Because of the new moon, I might do, let's say on Sunday, I might put a note to wear my gold jewelry. And I am a Leo, so I could do something related to that. Maybe I have a Leo fragrance oil or something like that, or altar oil that I want to wear, something like that I could do on Sunday. So I can put these little things in as reminders throughout my week of things I want to do that are witchy. If I have anything else going on, for example, a ritual, there's nothing going this week, but I could go ahead beforehand and put into, we had Beltane on the 1st, I could have put that here, or I can put it into my monthly pages here on the 1st. This is the only thing I do not like about this planner, and most of the planners I see are, the only place I have not seen it is the Franklin Covey, but I don't like having all of my months here followed by the weeks. I would rather have the month, then its weeks, then the next month, and its weeks. But I've had to make do because apparently that's not going to happen for me, and I do like this format for the planner in general. But I can use the calendar to write down any Wheel of the Year items coming up, and then I can reference that when I go into my week and see, okay, what do I want to do for that week? All right, same thing goes for, let's see, I did put here, I put it here on Sunday, Book of Shadows work, signs, because I noticed in my review for the week that I had several times put down working with some of the signs that I mentioned in my videos from my dreams, but I haven't done that yet. So since Sunday is my home day, I thought, well, I should be able, hopefully, to at least do some notes on that, and maybe even start a page in pencil in my Book of Shadows, something like that. So I can put that here because I believe I'll have time on that day to do something like that. If I want to do a particular spell, I would look for a day of the week that would be good for that, not necessarily correspondence-wise, but time-wise. Will I have the time to do something more elaborate? If I don't, what can I do that's less elaborate and add it in, and where? So that's how I add in the witchy stuff, is I look for openings in the schedule, I look for moon phases, I look for ritual days, and I see what my opportunities are to do something witchy that week. And I try first thing to at least pencil it in so that I can go back and try to make it happen. All right, that was kind of long-winded, so I am going to go back to swapping the camera around and have a few last-minute notes for you. All right, so that was kind of a run-through of how I'm doing my process, my planning process right now. As said, it's not really a grand system at the moment, but it's sort of working. I at least have the most important things in there. And to kind of recap, the idea is all of the absolute set appointments go in first in ink. Everything else that I think I'm going to do or that I want to do goes in pencil. And then as I go through my week, I make adjustments to that pencil. And at the end of the day, or as I go along through the day, I transfer the pencil to the ink so I know what actually happened that day and what went well, what didn't go well. At the end of the day, or at the end of the week, at the end of a couple of days, whenever I get around to it, I might add in some pretty things, some stickers, things like that. But again, pretty planning is lovely. I really like it. I don't think I have any sort of talent with it, but I like it. But to me, it's very distracting from actually using the planner as a planner and getting things done, which is my whole point and purpose in life. That is the main thing I have problems with. So because of that, I leave that off till later, and putting the stickers in around the stuff that I have accomplished, to me, is just as happifying as doing it ahead of time. It makes me happy to see what I did complete and pretty. So, and that's about it. Once I get all of the mundane stuff in pencil, then I do make another run through to see what is coming up magically. Is there anything I want to focus on, pay attention to, try to do during this week that is more magical in context? If so, again, I use my pencil, I put it in there, and if it happens, it happens. If not, oh well. But I do try to fit some things in there. Now, with that in mind, I'm gonna go start doing my next video, which will go up a few days from now. I want to do this one for Sunday, so it's Saturday now recording, but I want it up on Sunday for those of you who do your planning on Sunday, and then the other one will hopefully get put up on Wednesday, and that has to do with ways to incorporate magical things in your life, or magic in your life, every day, because it can be simple. Most of the time I think we make it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. So I'm gonna go do that video now, and you'll be able to see that on Wednesday. So thanks again. I hope this planning video was at least quasi of interest to you, quasi interesting to you, and a little bit helpful to see how I go through my process. And this is a weekly thing I do. I may do more, I may do less, but every weekend I do sit down and look at my planner to have an idea of what's going on the next week. All right, thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon. Blessed be.